What's going on, gamers? Welcome back, Force here, and today we will be revisiting FireFall. This upcoming free-to-play MMO shooter is currently in the beta and recently received a major overhaul in its most recent beta patch. In it, a new progression system and abilities were added to the game. There have been combat improvements in the form of movement and shooting. There's a better crafting system, or rather an improved crafting system, and a larger available worlds to access in the beta. Now we're going to start things off at the very beginning because I figured why not just revisit the game with all these changes by taking a look at the character creation screen. And no, you cannot have my password. Sorry. Alright, so we're going to start off by building our character, which is going to have the name ForceLol. You can see I already got that all set up there. So let's start off by taking a look at the Battleframes. Battleframes in FireFall are essentially the classes. You've got your basic attacker, your sniper class, your healer, your heavy, and your engineer. Specifically, they are called the Assault class, or the Assault Battleframe, the Biotech, the Recon, the Engineer, and the Dreadnought. Now, if you have been following FireFall, you will notice that the Medic is no longer available. It has been replaced by the Biotech. Basically the same thing, a little bit of a different twist here, but it's still your healer. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose the Assault Battleframe because that's basically what I've been playing with through the entirety of the beta, and it's what I'm most comfortable with. Taking a look, we've got a few different options for skin color here. There are 6 total. Just go middle of the road, I suppose. Face options, there are 2 of those. Both of them look kind of weird, so I guess it doesn't really matter which one we choose. Eye color, 4 options, the black, red, blue, and green. I like the black. And then hairstyle, which we've got 4 choices here. And number 3 looks good to me. A couple of different hair color options, running the range from black all the way to green. And I would say everything in between, but really there aren't a lot of options there. I'm going to go with the ice blue. And then facial hair. And the large, overpowering goatee is obviously the best, so let's go ahead and create and jump into the game. Alright, so again, there have been some incredible changes to combat, to the progression system. More world is available, and that's why I want to start over and basically reintroduce you guys to the game, just because so much is different from what we previously looked at in other videos. We're actually going to start things off with a little bit of a backstory here for FireFall, just to give you guys kind of a general idea of what's happening. 6 months later, 6 months after what? Who knows? The crash of the Arclight devastated Fort Eliza. I'm going to call it Fort Zilla. The crash of the Arclight devastated Fort Zilla, but the energy storm it released did far worse. The melding blanketed the planet in violent, impenetrable storms. Fort Zilla survived, protected from the melding by the crashed Arclight's lingering space-time field. How exciting. However, an alien race named the Chosen, have come from the melding to raid human settlements. The Accord military, lacking in manpower, recruits small mercenary teams to help fight the Chosen and mine crystallite. This is the story of one of those teams. Some of the changes that recently came through, based on what I've read about the game and looking at developer diaries and stuff, is actually Red 5 Studios' attempt to gear this game more towards esports. They're really focusing, and that's where all the combat improvements have come from. Movement, jet thrust and power, and the duration of it, and even all the weapons have been revisited with the focus of esports. Now, we will be taking a look at PvP again in future videos. However, this is just going to start from the very beginning, looking at the PvE and the leveling system as you were introduced to the game, just because that's where I wanted to start things out. So once this loads up, we'll be thrown right into it. And it looks like we are actually starting here in the dead of night. All right, time for some conversation.
Boss, wake up. You'll be landing at Copa Cabana soon, boss. It's a great place for a vacation, but we need to pay the bills first. Let's see if we can find some work here.
Coming into the city now? Hold on, I'll bring her around.
Don't worry. Once we get hooked into Sin, I'll scan the local feed. We'll find something.
Alright, so we are now landing in Copa Cabana. The actual physical place hasn't changed much from prior videos. Again, we are starting in dark here. Hopefully it'll switch to daytime, though, before the end of this video. We're going to be doing a few videos here, probably each at about 30 minutes, most likely.
Boss, the shared intelligence network is still down over much of this region. We will have to patch in manually to receive missions and to get data flow. I'm pinging you a waypoint where the Sin Tower is located near the center of the resort.
A little bit of lighting there from the moon. All right, so here we are once again in Copa Cabana, starting off with the waypoints. It's asking us to go to the Sin uplink. The Sin areas are essentially quest hubs. You go there and you unlock a certain visual area around the Sin point, and then from there you're linked into the available quest in that area. So let's go ahead and start things off here in Copa Cabana. The jet thrust system has changed a lot. The way you move while thrusting is different, and also the duration is a little bit longer now. Let's go ahead and move from waypoint to waypoint. Ah! Kill that thing. Until we get to the Copa Cabana Sin uplink, which is right over here. All right. Let's lock in with E.
That's it, we're in. Now we can see all the traffic in this area and receive messages in Copacabana. Open up your map. See the circle around Copacabana? That's the range of this Sin tower.
There you go.
The more towers we find, the more of the map will uncover. I'm also directly patched into your Sin feed. I can see what you see. Picking up an emergency transmission. Patching you in.
This is Ratchet in Cabana Engineering. Our water's been cut off. We need somebody to inspect the aqueduct valves that carry the water from the moisture farms. Can you help?
We have to help them. The melting has destroyed all of the other moisture farms in this area. If this one goes down, Copacabana won't have any water. Ratchet, we're on it.
Thanks, please hurry.
Alright, so now we must help a Ratchet engineer here in Copacabana by taking care of the valve, which is apparently in trouble, right over there. So let's go ahead and take this glider pad all the way over. If you are new to FireFall and haven't seen my other videos, this is the game's interesting twist on a transportation system, which I love. I think this is awesome. Just glide until you get to where you need to be.
Watch out! That valve is venting badly. Hurry, see if you can shut it off. 1 second. Let me do a remote scan to find the damage. This valve station is ruined.
I see the data now. What a mess. Clear out some of these Aranas so they stop mucking around with my valves.
The melting is changing all the wildlife, making them more aggressive. These Arañas from Alpha Prime are especially dangerous.
Alright, so still bug creatures here are Aranas. Apparently they messed with the water valve and now we have to kill them. So you're going to notice we just went from a quest which was go to this object and interact with it to kill X amount of things. And that's what we're doing. Now, the story behind it is, hey, we're just trying to clear the Aranas around this water valve. Is that really what it is? No, because these egg sacs, which you just saw me shoot, which popped these Aranas out of it, they'll just respawn anyways. So it's not like this is, you know, the world's not actually changing with your actions, but when you're in the heat of the moment, I guess it kind of does, because you're like, oh, okay, so I just killed that, let me kill these over here. But I could also go like all the way over there and kill some Aranas and it would still count. So it doesn't really, it's not really serving the purpose of the story itself. But I don't know that this game is all about the story so much, and as it is. I mean, certainly it has a story to it, but it's gonna fall into that trapping of a lot of MMOs that the world's not changing that much. You're really just going along your particular path, and things are going to go back to the way they were, and it's not being permanently effective. At least in this sense. Is that possible in other aspects? Sure, yeah. And from what I understand, too, a big part of the game, which is the invasion system, which has yet to be added to the beta, things are actually effective. Basically, Chosen, which are the alien race that are coming through the melding, which we'll be able to look at later on, as well as the Aranas, can invade the town, and if you don't protect your town, it will become taken over. So that's a real consequence to the events that take place, you know. But something like this, again, these guys are just going to come back. I can return here in 5 minutes, and there'll be egg sacs all around the water field. And that's not a complaint as much as it's just an observation. Like, that this happens, right? This is just, it's pretty standard, though, so. I'm going to use my #1 ability, just Crater. Lands and does a lot of damage. You're going to notice I just killed 2 of those small Aranas. We still got this big guy here. We got one more to kill. Now, I will be repeating a lot. If you have followed my FireFall coverage in the past, I'll be repeating a lot of what I've talked about before because, again, this is a reintroduction to the game with all the recent changes that have come through.
Great job. That should be enough.
Meet me in Copa Cabana.
All right.
You've taken care of the Iranas, but we've still got to get that water flowing. I've got a plan.
So we're going to go back to Copa Cabana to meet Ratchet. The thrust lasts a lot longer than it used to. Much longer than it used to, in fact. Got our little ammo and health regen pads here. So I just used up the health one. Let me go ahead and show you the ammo. So I'm gonna lob a couple of rounds here. Bring me down to 6 of 46, and then I can go over the ammo, and that refills me to 6 of 48. You'll notice the ammo and the health down there. Dead on center at the bottom. Let's go ahead and meet up with a Ratchet though, shall we? Yes, we shall. So yeah, I'll be repeating a lot of things that I mentioned in the past because this is a reintroduction to the game because of all the changes that have taken place. So far, you probably haven't seen many changes except for the fact that the thruster system lasts longer and is a little bit different in terms of the way it thrusts you. And also the secondary weapon is different, visually at least, than the one that you start off with prior. Alright, so here we are with Ratchet. Hello, Ratchet.
Ah, they really chewed this thing up. The MPU is ruined. I'm gonna need some silicate fragments to make a new one.
I detected some silicate deposits down by the beach,
Right
but
over there.
we're going to need something to get to the silicates inside.
Here, take these sonic detonators. I was saving them in case the Chosen invaded, but you can use them to blast open the silicate deposits.
Hey boss, oil spill here. Use the call down menu on your nav wheel to access the sonic detonators. It contains things you picked up for special missions, like them detonators.
I'm detecting a silicate deposit nearby. Do you see it?
Oil spill here. Target the deposits with your sonic detonators and you'll extract those silicates right out.
Here we go. So we're gonna throw our sonic detonators, which are bound to 4. These are basically little mines.
Got our first silicate fragment. We're going to need more if Ratchet is going to fix the aqueduct MPU. The melting has ruined everything.
Oh boy.
I can't believe the
Arrow's
engine's
so
still
dramatic.
4 light years away.
And I'm planning to be numero uno in the waiting list when it arrives. Goodbye melding, goodbye Earth.
Shush. Hope is taken one step at a time.
So much chatter here. Alright, so we're blowing up these silicate deposits. In doing so, collecting some resources. You're going to notice silicate and silicate fragment being picked up with each one of these deposits that I'm blowing up. I have infinite of these mines because they are particular to this
Found another one.
quest.
Just a couple more.
Now there are...
What's this? Doesn't
Ooh,
look like silicate.
anonymous.
More like wreckage.
Silicate.
Boss, hang on to this
Anomalous,
one. I
not
want to scan it
anonymous.
later.
It's anonymous. You don't know who it is. Anomalous silicate fragment. And you notice I picked up there. These ones are not silicate fragments, so I'm gonna have to go back now to where they are. Oh, here we go. A couple more up here. And how many more do I need? Just 2. So this will do it right here. Oops, a little lag there. Beta's been a little laggy since the patch. I'm assuming because a lot of people are now hopping into it with the most recent changes, which makes sense.
We have all the fragments we need. This should allow Ratchet to rebuild the MPU and get the water flowing to Copa Cabana. Let's go find Ratchet.
And we go back to Ratchet. So again, pretty basic questing stuff. Pretty generic MMO questing stuff here. Nothing over the top in the beginning. But it's also the beginning, so bear that in mind, right? Alright, now back to Ratchet with our deposit. Thanks. Ratchet?
Hey, you found them all. Bring them over, and I'll show you how you can build the MPU. Beauty. Use the molecular printer over there, and I'll show you how to put it together. Bet you've never used an Omnidyne MJet before.
Alright, so we're gonna go now to the manufacturing station. Now this system has changed. This is one of the big changes.
With the silicates you found, you'll be able to construct a replacement MPU by printing molecules layer by layer.
Load the manufacturing station with the MPU template. It should take only a matter of seconds until it's built and ready to unload.
Alright, so you're gonna notice here this, I suppose the inventory of available nanoprints looks different now. It's actually now separated. Now what I need to do is research the basic MPU technology, which we can just go ahead and load that up right there. And we will build it with our crystallite. Now the interesting thing that they've done to crafting here, we'll grab this in a second. What is going on here? There we go. Pick this back up. Oh boy, it's bugging out, isn't it? Please stop. Please stop being buggy, thank you. Whew. Okay, so we can unload this now. The interesting thing that they've done to crafting, though, that I want to show you here, we've got that. I'll unload that in a minute. Before we continue the quest, though, I want to... You're just gonna bug out here. Well, let me just tell you basically what they've changed here. This the little sentence here that we got in the most recent update. So the resources in this game now have a variable quality level, and with that, basically, depending on the resource you use, it will alter the effectiveness of what you craft, or basically what you'll get out of what you craft. So the better materials will allow you to make better things, and you can use this for an array of things. Changing your nanoprints, your weapons, depending on the materials that you use to craft each one of these things, that's how it's going to be altered. Unfortunately, it's not letting me load that up. Maybe after I unload this, because I just wanted to show you, but
it's done.
We'll need to take this to the master valve station and install it. It'll propagate the changes to the other valves via SIN, and everything should be fixed up.
Careful though, the installation creates quite a racket, likely to attract the undesirables.
So we're now headed to the main aqueduct station, which is right over there. We're gonna get there by doing that. But yeah, generally speaking, that's how the crafting system has changed. You're going to be able to use a variety of resources to build things, and again, depending on what you use, it's going to alter how good or bad what you use is, or basically what's tied to those things, what improvements you get from it, based on the quality of the resource. All right, so here we are down to the main aqueduct station. Now, it looks like there are some baddies around here already, so we will clear those. Start off with our crater building. Oh my gosh, I haven't hit anyone there. Okay. So you can bounce between first and third person perspective. Generally, I like third. It gives you a little wider frame of view. You get to see a little bit further on either side, which I prefer, generally speaking. Kill the rest of these piranhas here. I gotta start this up, though. Let me start this up real quick before we go any further. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm so dead.
Looks like you've attracted some attention. Hold them off.
Oh, I've got no health left. Oh my gosh, I am a goner.
Hang on. Install is 25% complete.
Oh, I'm a goner. I need some more health. But there's so many of these buggers around here. Oh, God. Fail. Look at those things. Well, I'm gonna try that again. That was, bollocks. Well, bollocks, he says, in his weird voice thing. Let me see, any healing stations over here. Can't quite remember. Oh, there we go. There's one right here. Alright, good. So we're gonna heal up here. And we'll go back in a moment. Look at these friggin' annoying. Kill these bugs, please. What is there an egg doing right there? You gotta be kidding me. That was ridiculous. Of course there was an Arana egg sitting right there. Of course there was. Alright, so I just showed you how not to do that quest. Basically. There we go, back at full health. Let's go back and try this again. So I don't know if I'm gonna get credit for this because they started it. I don't know that that's gonna work.
Reloading.
I do not know that that is gonna work in my favor.
Great work. You've gained enough experience piloting that Battleframe to purchase new tech. Remember, the Accord treats your experience like cash, so please spend it wisely.
Right, so with this now, I've just gained enough XP to basically purchase a new ability. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that once we complete this little quest here. Come on, get out of my way. So many of these stupid bug things.
Reloading.
There we go.
It's in place. It's going to take some time to integrate into the valve mechanism. Looks like you've attracted some attention. Hold them off.
Flip out.
Alright, so we completed theirs earlier. I wonder if they're gonna stay to help me with mine.
Hang on. Install is 25% complete.
Just gotta keep these guys off of it.
Reloading.
And not die myself, of course. The health down here.
Halfway there. Install is at 50%.
As long as I just keep them off of it, we're okay. They're thumping right there.
Flip out.
But I don't know that that means they're gonna help me.
Hardware install is 75% complete.
The game's really lagging very oddly right now. And it's not my frames, because my frames stayed the same. There we go. That's. Oh no!
You've done it! The water's flowing again. Why don't you come by Copa Cabana and I'll buy you a drink?
Well, at least I completed the
Hey, I
mission.
might still need your help. The water's flowing, but not nearly fast enough.
What do you mean?
Well, the resort was never designed to handle as many people as the Accord brought in when they occupied the place. I'm gonna have to turbo boost these pumps, but I need pure seed crystite to do it.
I'm sure you could requisition the Accord for some.
Not bloody likely. The Accord is hoarding every resource it can find. We've got to scavenge our own seed crystite, and we'll need a thumper for that. Luckily, I found a wrecked one that I've been fixing up. I just need Tiki.
Tiki.
My wrecking drone.
Oh my god, these guys keep talking.
I upgraded his scanners myself. I sent him out on a scan, but he hasn't returned yet. So I'm uploading 3 of his most recent locations to your SIN map. You find Tiki, and I'll get to work restoring the thumper.
Sounds good. Please stop chatting. Thank you. Alright, so we completed the quest, even though I ended up dying at the end there. You're gonna notice the next point here is for me to go to those 3 points, try to find Tiki for a ratchet. Before we do that, though, you're gonna have noticed earlier that I did, we'll call it level up. I acquired enough experience to be able to start to actually get some customization here. So this is the new, it was previously called a loadout modification terminal, now called a Battleframe garage. And with it, you can take a look at your battle frames and make alterations to it. And a little bit different, much different than it looked like in the past. It used to just be like a paper doll thing. Now it's actually an interactive experience. Loading up there, it's taking a while. Again, keep in mind this is the beta. So you can take a look at the various aspects of your gear and make alterations to it if necessary. Signature weapon, secondary weapon. You can make any changes to it there. But what we're going to be looking at is the new skill system, the new progression tier system that I've currently unlocked enough points. Now, this is still basically a level up system here. It's essentially the same. You know, you acquire XP, you use it to unlock abilities, you move through, eventually you'll get to customize once you make your way through, I'll just say it, once you level up far enough. So I'm going to keep gaining XP, I'll use that XP to purchase these various abilities. Now in my first tier here, I've got a few abilities to choose from. The first one is Accord Shockwave. Unlocks the Shockwave ability. It's a short-range projectile attack that increases damage as it travels. Second ability here is the Jump Jets. Recharge jet energy faster, allowing for more frequent jet use. And the number 3 ability here is the Afterburner. It's a short but powerful aerial movement boost. So I think, I actually really like the Jump Jet. What's the tier after that? Increased jump strength. Let me actually go with the shock. Let me try the Shockwave here. So we're gonna unlock the Accord Shockwave. Now you can eventually just use your XP to purchase all of this stuff.
Fantastic. Looks like you've earned a great upgrade. To take advantage of your new gear, head to the nearest garage terminal to modify your Battleframe.
All right, so. So there we go. I get to pick the abilities here for the chest. I already have the crater. The Shockwave is the second one, which we have now, I believe, selected. No? There it is. All right, wonderful. So the number 2 ability, Shockwave, is that right there. So there you go. Pretty interesting. And actually, now's the perfect time because I planned to cut it, and all of a sudden the beta started getting really choppy. So you know, we've been able to take a look at the new and improved movement system that changes to the thrusters. Why is it acting so weird? It's like choppy and then it's not. So odd. And my FPS is staying smooth, so I don't know why. Stupid beta. All right. So thanks so much for watching, guys. As we begin our reintroduction to FireFall, we'll do a few more videos as we continue along the quest line, and I also do want to show you some of the new areas which were not previously available in the beta during my last set of videos. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for some more FireFall coverage in the future. And as always, if you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep oming. Keep oming? What the hell? What's wrong with me? Let's try Shockwave. Boom! It's kind of weird. Take it easy, guys.